Hi, this is Ollie from Beat Goes On. We are a UK-based percussion workshop company, but we do workshops for schools and teachers and professional development things all over the place. I had the privilege of being at Little Kids Rock, I should say, Modern Band Summit last year, where I met some amazing people. And so as a result of this, here we are today. I'm a former cast member of the show Stomp that some of you may well know of. I was in the London show and the European tour casts, and also their sister show, the Lost and Found Orchestra, which kind of played here, there and everywhere, including Sydney and Amsterdam and across the US, actually. All good fun. Thank you for saying hi to everyone. Boynton Beach, Florida, Georgia, Ecuador, amazing. Brazil, if we've already said hi, Fernando, lovely stuff. Apologies, I didn't realise which Fernando it was. We've got somebody from Australia. Hello. I'm not going to go through all of these because apparently we have about 100 odd people signed up. So I'm going to get to it. So I hopefully you've had the email to say bring a broom and a basketball and a box of matches. Now, if you don't have any of those things, don't worry, because hopefully during this session I'm going to be showing you a little bit of kind of what they did in the show and also some other approaches to junk percussion outside of the stomp context. But it's largely going to be focusing on Stomp's approach to junk percussion that you can then implement into a classroom setting. I'm guessing with this that most of you may be in an education background, you might not be, but as well as kind of showing kind of a few of the tricks, I'm also going to be talking about how you might implement that into the class. There's also going to be some videos getting going, some examples. So before we get going, I'd just like to say that thanks for the Society for Online Music Education for hosting this. This is a kind of a taster for the International Music Education Summit, which is happening in June, during which time there's going to be a whole range of awesome webinars going on, including I'm doing a Stomp-style body percussion session for that one. So this is the junk percussion side of things. There's going to be body percussion. I'm running one there on the 12th. But thank you to the Society for Online Music Education, and looking forward to the International Music Education Summit. So Beat Goes On are available for workshops here, there and everywhere. So once real life, as it were, kind of once the lockdown has stopped, looking forward to those times because I can come and visit you in your schools and conferences and bish bash bosh all over the world. Looking forward to that. Now, less talking, more doing. We're going to kick off with our first video, which is Brooms, which is the first routine in the show. I'm actually going to kind of start it and then kind of go into a bit where the routine starts properly, because it's a bit of a slow intro, but here we go, Brooms from Stomp. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Just gonna... Okay, so we had the intro of Stomp there. All good fun. So what we're going to do, grab your brooms if you fancy, and we're going to I'm going to kind of show you, we do this in school workshops as well, the way that the thing builds up. So you've got your broom. Pre-stomp, I sweat left-handed. Post-stomp, I naturally feel inclined to sweep right-handed, which is kind of strange. So we've got our brooms here. And you might have noticed it's all a question of counting 4, and the first guy that comes in is actually a roll called Sarge, and they're knocking on the 1. So in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring the screen down a little bit so you can actually see the broom as well. There's my sofa, but you can also see the broom. Lovely. So we're going to be going over a count of 4. We're going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're knocking on the 1. I tend to find that with the sweeps, you do the first sweep going out. So it's going to be 1, out, in, out. 1, out, in, out. 1, out, in, out. 1. Keep that going. 1, out, in, out. 1. 1, out, in, out. 1, 1, 1. Lovely. Now, if you've got that, fantastic. If it's a bit kind of tricky or your broom's probably broken at some stage, no worries. By the way, I'm absolutely not responsible if your broom does break. It might well do. So might this one. We'll carry on regardless. So we've got that first part going on, which is clicking on the 1. But then the second guy to come in, who was actually my role, Potato Head, was on 4. So I come in, my first roll was going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And again, I'm knocking there and I'm doing a forward stroke first of all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and lovely. So, just to get a bit of an ensemble vibe going, and I realise in a webinar situation it's kind of strange, but what we'll try is we're going to try you guys knocking on the 4. So you guys are going to be the Potato Head roll, and I'm going to be Sarge. So I'm going to start on the 1, and when you're ready, you guys come in knocking on 4. Okay? So let's give that a go. Here we go. I'm going to start on 1. When you're ready, you come in on the 4. I'm going to start 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. 1. Sorry, my fault. Well, I'm thinking about your part as well as mine. It happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Now you guys come in on the 4 when you're ready. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Lovely. And then hopefully that's the first 2 lines, and then gradually 6 more come in as we're going along. We build them up one step at a time. If you actually look at each pattern as it's come in, you can actually kind of pick those parts out just by watching the videos. One of the other ones we come in is a little bit of a slightly more developed roll. We have the line goes like this. I'm going to slow it down a little bit as well. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a rest on beat 1, 2 knocks, 1 and 2, and then a short backward slide, and then a long forward slide. Let's just try that once nice and slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, and again 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, and again 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, last time 1, 3, 4. Lovely. Let's try it a few times through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1. Last time 1, 4. Beautiful. Just going to make sure it's nice and tight. Fantastic stuff. So let's try. In fact, we've got those. We've got the knocking on the 1. We've got the knocking on the 4. We've got that rhythm that's just come in, which is bat dum ch. Now the other one, which is quite a bit of a possibly tricky one to get your hand around, is when there's lots of fast offbeats going on. At the moment, all this is kind of quite on-beat based. We can also have offbeats. It's going to sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so to get the offbeats first with just the sweeps on their own, I tend to find that if I'm stepping on the beat, 1, 2, or 1 and and 2 and 3 and 4 and then I do all the offbeats faster. So let's just try the feet and the sweeping first of all. And I think I'm going to... Yeah, first one is a sweep out. A 1, 2, a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3. Just the sweeps on their own. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. As if you're in kind of playing in a ska band. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and lovely. Let's see now if we can add the knock on 4 and. It's going to sound like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Let's give it a go. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and lovely. Fantastic stuff. So there you have 4 of the rhythms going on, which can you can kind of build up. Now, if I was to do this in a classroom context, I may well have everyone with a broom each, but only those 4 rhythms going on. Actually, to be honest, those offbeats is going to be kind of tricky possibly anyway. You might pick something a little bit kind of more on-beat pods based. But we have the 1s and 4s certainly coming in. So the 1s on their own. You may divide perhaps a class of 30 into 4 groups, and you have maybe 7 or 8 people just doing the 1s, 7 or 8 people just doing the 4s, maybe even half and half, 15 doing 1, 15 doing the... So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Lots of stomp is about where your beat fits into the context of everything else. So it's not a question of one person going necessarily, depending on what the routine is. But in this context, it's very much you've got a fairly simple part, but it's part of 7 other simple parts that need to fit together well. So it's a question of really, really locking in with whatever else is going on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. We might then add that 3rd rhythm we did. 1, ba, ba, dum, ch, da, da, dum, ch, over the top of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. With the offbeats, I realise offbeats can fox the best of us. So it potentially needs to be, you might do it slowly. You might kind of, there might be some kind of more, possibly people who are used to playing offbeats, maybe drummers, who might do that. So there's roles for any level of musical experience within it, which is the kind of the beauty of it. Lovely stuff. So there's one way of kind of getting you kind of going with the kind of things. Oh, lovely, lovely. I'm just going to make sure I've frozen. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Lovely. Excellent stuff. Brilliant. So we are now going to crack on with... we've done Broom's bit of that. Turn around. No, not doing that. Lovely. Okay, that's fine for Brooms. I think that's plenty to get your teeth around. Now, our next video up is a little further away into the vibe of things, which is Matchboxes. Matchboxes rather. So I'm going to show you the whole video. It's only a couple of minutes long, and then I'll talk briefly about the groove on it. Enjoy. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Great stuff. So, very quickly, get your matches. As it's been talked about in the chat box, I believe somebody mentioned, yes, box of Tic Tacs works very well. I don't know if you guys had Tic Tac. I'm guessing, Walter, wherever you're from, whether you're UK, US, or anywhere else, Tic Tacs might even be American, who knows? Yes, if you don't want your students playing in matches, Tic Tacs box worked equally as well. So that rhythm you just heard was a basic bit of a samba rhythm. So slow down. We're holding them in this hand, so we can have the kind of shaky shake going on. But for that main rhythm, we have okay. Slow down over a count of 4, like with any samba. If those of you who already play samba, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Hitting them with a thumb. Nice and relaxed though, kind of nice Brazilian vibe. Lovely. So we have slow down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then at the end of kind of every couple of bars or so, there's a little kind of boom, boom. So 1, 2, it goes like this. Boom, boom. Yeah? Cool. So that's that one. That's the kind of the main general groove, as well as the... It's also quite nice to kind of slow it down, a bit of a more bossa nova feel. 1, 2, ding, ding. Yeah, get the vibe. So perhaps don't necessarily stick to how they do it in the show. You can kind of do your own thing with it. Lovely. You can do other rhythms as well. There's a nice kind of like a funk rhythm. You can go 1, 2. It goes like this. Opa! 1 down again. All good fun. Apologies, this box is very small. The ones in the show are larger. This is the only one my local shop had. So, you know, you do what you do. But anyway, point being, you can explore various other grooves you can play and combine them. All good fun. So, let's have a little bit of a chat, bearing in mind, will we get to practice later? Yes, you will. As I think it's just been commented, there will be a replay emailed to you about 24 hours after this. Watch it as many times as you like. So it's not just a live thing. You can kind of go back to it, pause it, rewind it, bish, bash, bosh. Now, those educators or anybody who's interested in how we might use this in a kind of an education setting with either the brooms or the matches, with the matchboxes or Tic Tacs. If you were going to teach this tomorrow, going to put your little chat kind of question to you, we're just going to have a bit of a chat for 5 minutes. How would you go about teaching it with the students you're working with? So maybe if you could specify which age group you're working with, how you might go about teaching it, and then if you've already tried something like this, what are some of the ideas you tried? Because I think the point of this being, even though this is inspired by Stomp, obviously the rhythms are doing are particularly Stomp. I'm sure Stomp inspire students and teachers all over the world. So how might you which other routes might you go down? So post your ideas now, and everyone can kind of see them. And it's going to be a little bit boring to me for you guys to watch me reading things, but yeah, all good fun. So obviously Walter's suggested some Tic Tacs. Let's just spend a couple of ideas. Those of you who have suggestions for other routes we can go down, then we can have a little look to see which other routes we can go down. So there are, while people are posting those, there's also ways that you can pass the broom from one person to another. You can literally throw them. And whenever you're throwing stuff in Stomp, we'll get to this a little bit more with basketballs, you throw in time. The whole thing with Stomp is it's not really a question of getting something and hitting it with a drumstick. The whole thing with Stomp is you take the thing and you play it as you normally do. What do you do with the broom? You sweep it, but you sweep it in time. And that's the whole thing with Stomp. There's rarely a kind of, here's a thing, let's just hit it with sticks. Sometimes there is that as well, but certainly with brooms and matches and basketballs, we'll get onto the basketballs in a sec. So you're going to be throwing the brooms from one another in time. You can also slide the brooms along the floor. I won't be able to do it because obviously you're in a carpeted room, but you kind of do this and you flick it up and if you have a little bit of practice, and it will slide along, and the person can catch it. And that's one way. There's a little bit in the show where there's a nice section of it where brooms are transferred on one particular beat, variety of different ways, and it looks and sounds amazing. So that can give that one a go. Have we had any comments in terms of that? Right. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Claire Deans, not Claire Danes. I bet you never had that before. Sorry, Claire. I teach all primary music. I've used a rhythm grid. Each person has 8 boxes. Lovely beats. Each member of the group colours. Lovely, excellent stuff. So using rhythm grids. Lots of this is based around campanology, which is the art of bell ringing, where lots of this kind of thing comes from. So each person is responsible for a beat, and you're playing on that beat, and the whole ensemble comes along. The most kind of clear example of that in Stomp is pipes, which you may have already seen. You're literally kind of playing on that and playing each number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But lovely. If you're using the rhythm grids, then obviously that can become a compositional thing as well. Teach each rhythm as a whole class and divide into sections, yet layer them up, smaller groups to rehearse the rhythms for a performance, create their own rhythm section as well. Fantastic. So there's also lots of composition going on. Please don't think it has to be just the show stuff. When we also kind of get inspired by them, we also kind of take students' ideas, which I suggest is probably that means they take ownership of their own learning, as well as just not just copying the show. They're inspired by the show. What else can we create? Great stuff. Words with rhythms. Yes. So a couple of things with rhythms. When we teach samba. Going back to the samba thing, as well as junk percussion, we teach body percussion, we teach samba. We like to use the rhythms of words that relate to the topic. So, for example, there's an agogo bell rhythm, the agogo like two bell cowbell, and it's featured quite a lot in the Brazilian style maracatu. And the rhythm of that goes boom ba boom ba boom ba ba boom ba boom ba boom ba boom ba ba boom ba. And when I teach that rhythm, I use the phrase "Let the groove flow on the agogo." Let the groove flow on the agogo. Excuse me. On the agogo. So with that, we're using the words that relate to the topic, and also the rhythm of the words is the rhythm of the rhythm. So the kind of the deeper learning of kind of what you're learning goes in. On that front, in the offers section here, we've also got a junk percussion guide, which is free to download. We also have my body percussion book, which does cost, but we do ship out to the States. And lots of resources there, including lots of samba stuff, lots of stuff related to stomp, etc. Boom whackers are great. Yes, they are. Boom whackers are lovely. We often kind of use the stuff that's inspired by stomped pipes on boom whackers. Body percussion, Danielle, between grades 4 and 9, 8 beats, I have to fill them. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yes. So junk percussion combined with body percussion and 8-beat composer solo, bish, bash, bosh. I'd often do that with an 8-beat thing and then say, right, what else can you do with it? Because they'll kind of come up with something and then they say, I think the big thing with Stomp is when they do auditions, they're not necessarily looking for how quickly you can learn the pre-written stuff. They're looking for what you can bring to the show as a performer that is unique to you. So as a drummer, when I kind of auditioned, I'd been getting into samba, so I kind of did a samba rhythm on my body, which would have been different to the dancers who were flipping about here, there and everywhere, but still sounding good. So yeah, you're seeing what you can bring to the show that is different from everybody else. And that's kind of reason why having only 8 people, but each one is quite a unique performing character. Lovely stuff. Right. Resounding objects. Jorge, I believe that is how I pronounce your name. Apologies for that. What do you mean by resounding objects? Lovely. Boomwhackers are great. Yes. Brilliant. Okay, there's plenty of good ideas there. I'm just away, we're clicking away time-wise. So, next up, we are, I was going to describe a little bit about kind of stuff, not necessarily related to Stomp, but just general junk percussion. As I said, there's the junk percussion guide in the offers section of here. Junk percussion can be used not only from a musical point of view, but also to explore the qualities of sound from a science point of view, metal stuff, bassy stuff, wooden stuff, shaky stuff, high and low pitch. There's a great guy in the UK who's got some videos out, which I'll send a link for, called Rob Kitchen, who's got Rob's Kitchen. I think I'll send a tweet out. And he's kind of got a few different YouTube clips, lots of it, because it's been done a lot, and is literally in his kitchen, and that's his name. So he's a good guy to kind of check out, as well as our junk percussion guide. Lovely. So we're going to finish off with a little bit of some basketballs. So here, featuring a guest slot from the Harlem Globetrotters, is Stomp Basketballs. Oh, wow, yes, amazing, lovely, lovely, lovely. So if you're going to be teaching this, the first part that comes in, if you get your basketballs at the ready, again, very, 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 very pulse-based, and we're doing bounce, whoop-ah. We're doing bounce, catch, rest, catch. So we're bouncing on the one, we're catching, rest, catch. And with all of these, obviously, if you're bouncing on the one, you've got to kind of preempt it a little bit. People who aren't used to playing basketballs are aiming for that sound. Rather than going one, we're going for 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's try that together a few times through. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really try to make a slapping sound with that catch. Try it a few more times through. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Keep it going. 1, 2, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and stop. Fantastic. So that's our main kind of groove that's going on there. We're now going to add another little second beat to that. We're going to go, or 1, 2. In fact, that way it's kind of quite swung. The general feel that's quite swung. I tend to find when I'm teaching it, I actually keep it straighter for the sake of kind of ease of groups of people who aren't used to swing, being able to play it a little bit more smooth. So the second part, I'm going to straighten the feel of it. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, catch, bounce, bounce, catch. 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 Notice, those of you who used to play basketball already know this, but for the double bounces, I'm keeping the ball really close to the floor. I'm not going bounce, bounce, I'm bounce, bounce, so we're nice and in control of it. So let's try it together. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, catch, bounce, bounce, catch. Rest, catch, bounce, bounce, catch. Rest, catch, bounce, bounce, catch. Rest, catch. Keep it going. Rest, catch, bounce, bounce, catch. Rest, catch, bounce, bounce, catch. Rest, catch, bounce, bounce, catch. Rest, catch. Lovely. So obviously when there's more than one of you, you've got bounce, catch, rest, catch, bounce, catch, rest, catch with rest, catch, bounce, bounce, catch. Those two rhythms together are lovely just to kind of keep going on their own. All good fun. So we've got those two rhythms going on. And if you notice, I'm saying what I'm doing while I'm doing it. I'm kind of telling my limbs what to do. And in terms of groups of students trying that together, the words can really, really help to link those rhythms together. If they're saying together, bounce, catch, rest, catch, the words are linking it as well as the thing that they're doing. Lovely. So let's try 4 lots of bounce. Yes, when I don't turn it. 1, 2, 3. Let's try 4 lots of the first one into 4 lots of the second one. So 8 bars in total, 8 measures. 1, 2, from the top. Bounce, catch, rest, catch. Rest, catch. 3, 4. Other rhythm. Here we go. Rest, catch. Rest, catch. Rest, catch. Rest, catch. Fantastic. Okay, so we're gradually going to build up a bit of a finale piece. Now, we're going to try some offbeats with these basketballs. I know this looks as if I'm massive. This is my nephew's, who's a little bit younger than me. It's his slightly smaller basketball. It means I can do this. Lovely stuff. Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to be doing offbeats now. We're going to be catching on the 4. So we're going to go like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's give that a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. 1, 2. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic stuff. Lovely. So obviously I feel that's probably a kind of a slightly more technically tricky one to do, but if you have any people who are already kind of natural basketball players, they may well get that no problem at all. Brilliant. So we're going to try that one. We're also going to try rhythm. We're going to combine it. It's almost like a clave rhythm, but I don't think it is. It's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Sorry, I'm not going to count too hard. 1, 2, and again. Lovely. Let's give that a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brilliant. Now, finally, we're going to add some triplets. Now, triplets are a big part of Stomp. You can have triplets. Actually, I didn't show you. You can also do brushes and brooms here. So you have all good fun. So there's lots and lots of triplets with brooms, with body percussion. All good fun. And indeed, with these. Now, is that going to work? Right, I have to step off the board for this to work properly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and for some reason this board, when I'm stepping on it, it's tricky for the ball to bounce. So I'm going to step on the carpet instead. 1, 2, and again. Let's give that a go. 1, 2, here we go. Lovely. You'll actually be bouncing down as your feet are coming up. It's going to take a little bit of practice. Last time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to put this piece together and we're going to be going 4 lots of the bounce, catch, rest, catch. I'll shout them out as we're going along. 4 lots of the rest, catch, dum, dum, ja, rest, catch. Then that again, bounce, catch, rest, catch. Then rest, catch. So part 1, part 2, part 1, part 2. And we're going to repeating that. We're going to go into the offbeats for a few times through into that dum, ja, dum, rhythm. And then finally ending with the triplets. I'll be shouting out as we're going along, so don't worry about counting bars. Here we go, starting with bounce, catch, rest, catch. 1, 2, here we go. Bounce, catch, rest, bounce, catch, rest, catch, rest, catch, bounce. Keep it going. Catch, rest, catch, rest. Get ready to go into the second part. 1, 2, here we go. Rest, catch, rest, catch, rest, catch, rest, catch. Keep it going. Rest, catch, rest, catch, rest, catch. And back into the first part. Stop, catch, stop, rest, stop, and rest. Keep that going. Stop, catch, rest. Get ready for the second part again. 1, 2, here we go. Rest, catch, rest, catch, rest, catch, rest, catch. touch. We're going to get ready for the offbeats. Get ready for the offbeats. Oh, 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Keep going. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3. We're going to get the other non-clave rhythm. 1, 2. It goes like this. Boom, da, boom, da, boom. Boom, da, boom, boom, da, boom, da, boom, da, boom, da, boom. Get ready for the triplets to end. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Brilliant. Excellent job. Finally, very, very quickly, I'm sure there'll be lots and lots of time to discuss how we might implement that live. If you'd like any suggestions, let's kind of carry on this chat away from here because I'm just keeping a little bit around the time and I've got a 4-month-old daughter to attend to. So keep in touch. That is the kind of, we're calling it a day for now, but we'll keep in touch. I'm from Beat Goes On. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook, Beat Goes On UK. We are available for online professional development and school workshops online, but also when this all finishes, to come and visit you as well. We do travel internationally, so keep in touch. Lovely. Thank you so much for getting involved. If you've got any questions, keep in touch. Any final chats and thoughts? Right, okay. YouTube live stream. Oh, so I'm just going to answer a few of these. So, yes, we'll be able to watch them again. I thought you were smart using the tennis ball, yeah. We have over 3 hours of YouTube clips, which is on my YouTube channel rather than Beat Goes On. So if you look up Ollie Tunmer, OLLIE-TUNMER. So I'm not doing any more live sessions, Joanne. I've got 3 hours of stuff you can look at. But, yep. Thank you. Lovely suggestions of smaller hands. Smaller basketballs, in all seriousness. Not too small, but you can get kind of more school friendly. Great job. Thank you very much indeed. Any other thoughts on this? Bending over. Yes. With the bending over, bend from your feet, from your knees. Bend from your knees rather than your back. And then make sure you kind of bring it together with so standing up as well. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Keep in touch with us. We'd love to come see you. Lots of love for now. Enjoy your Friday. I'm going to go to sleep. Or I'm not actually because I've got a 4-month-old daughter. Bye.